Welcome. In this video, Chadwick Boseman's movie is the focus. 21 Bridges. My whole motivation to watch was Chadwick because we love him. In the beginning of his film, his character Andre is 13 and loses his father. 19 years later, he's being interrogated by internal affairs for taking life in the line of duty. He has obviously followed his father's footsteps in becoming part of law enforcement, specifically a detective. And I appreciated this scene because if only this was done more often towards real crooks, American society would be so much better. After an introduction to Chadwick's character, we see two imbeciles who robbed the wrong place of drugs with corrupt acting cops arriving there, probably off duty performing illegal activity. The cops get killed by one of the imbeciles, Ray. Andre has to investigate this incident. The imbeciles try to sell the illegal stuff they stole in the same night. Andre figures this out and tells the FBI that conveniently show up to the scene where the cops were killed, and Andre tells them to shut down Manhattan, the 21 bridges in them. I found it interesting how the law enforcement and even the federal entities were working extra hard to capture these guys, like locking down the island and everything. They're trying and intend to capture these guys within the same night. Even Chadwick's character has to stay professional while everyone else is not. He even has to tell an officer not to choke out a suspect so that they can get information. The fact that the FBI got into this situation and on this case in the same night was crazy. We find out that the imbeciles used to be in the military, so Ray and Michael try to clean the money they get, and it all seems disorderly, this plan. They didn't think this through. They should have just left as the Michael guy suggested earlier when they saw how much drugs was in it. Andre was smart. He noticed how the cops that were supposed to be working with him were trying to plant a gun on the man that they had just shot, a suspect, and they were acting very foolish, acting more as a hindrance than a help to Andre. NYPD kind of finds Ray and Michael, but the guys get thumb drives that has information on it and they escape NYPD. But Andre and his partner for the night, Burns, tries to find them and chase them. Andre shoots the Ray dude in self-defense, but Ray advises him about Michael being different than him. Andre tries to talk with Michael, but Burns is a bit distracting because Michael has her as a hostage. The talk goes nowhere, but with Michael running. The fact that cops were shooting and doing damage as they were chasing him, damage that could have harmed civilians, was truly crazy. I mean, the Burns person literally went on the sidewalk to get him. She could have hurt anyone shooting from the helicopter. Anyone could have gotten hurt. And they didn't care. They were really passionate about getting him. And I'm like, that was very suspicious. I was like, yeah, I don't think they're just doing this because of the fallen cops. I think they're doing this for something else. So Andre and Michael lead to being alone together. And on the subway, they come to an understanding, but Burns shoots Michael, yet Michael was able to give Andre the drives anyways with a code Cool Hand to access them. It turns out a unit of law enforcement called the A5 was doing illegal activity. They were trying to sell drugs and stuff, make they live in that way, but then want to turn around and be hypocritical by trying to get these guys in the case that, oh, they killed cops, oh, they tried to sell the drugs, but they have killed cops themselves to cover their own backs. And we see them trying to take out Andre to cover their own backs, a fellow cop, because they are very hypocritical. They are very selfish, and it was depicted right. The news was trying to praise them and not giving specifics. It was shady to the highest degree. The fact these officers try to use the excuse of their life stories to justify them doing illegal actions, but try to dismiss and tear down these military men that were doing kind of similar to them, just got caught up in bad situations, was disappointing. And throw dirt on these military men, even though they were the same, if not just as bad, because only one of the guys, Ray, had taken out the police officers. Michael did not. And so the fact that these cops that were crooked were really trying to make themselves into these heroes while all the while trying to do illegal activity to make funds, but then get mad when someone else does it. It's ridiculous. But Chadwick's character is hip to game, confronts the corrupted, stands for righteousness, and performs his job well to the highest power. An example of what an ethical officer should be standing for. He was observant, professional, calm, and collected. This movie was quite enjoyable because of Chadwick. I knew this movie would have a lesson in it given the context and Chadwick being in it. His character solved everything in just a few hours. I really liked the part when he was confronting the guy in charge of this A5 unit, and he said,
Or you could just look the other way.
I'd rather look the devil in the eye.
Loved it. Chills. I'm like, yes. And it was like a homage to what his mother had said earlier in the movie. And it just really was great to see his resolve, how he was unmoved. He was not scared of nothing, fearless. Loved it. They got what they got because Andre had something for them and took them out one by one that tried to step to him and had the good police show up. It was great. Bravo. Bravo, Chadwick. We love you forever. Long live Chadwick forever. Yes, fantastically done movie. And that's just my take on it, but feel free to leave comments about your own perception of this movie and how you felt about it. That's all for today. Stay tuned.